the fellas think. The podcast by three cool dudes that look to educate, inspire, entertain, and also give our opinions. Thus the title, What the Fellas Think. Uh, you might notice a little something different this week. We're actually missing somebody. Uh, Jeremy. Jeremy's not going to be on the podcast this week. Uh, I wish I could say it was like something, oh, he had to work late or, his computer isn't working or whatever. But actually, I think I still got it right here. Uh, Actually, you know what? I actually turned it into the authorities. I received a ransom note. Uh, Jeremy Hiller has been kidnapped. Uh, no joke, he's been kidnapped, and they're asking for a lot of money to get him back. Um, I I ain't got it all to get him out, and we got to help my brother out. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I need you to do is send it to this Cash App right here, and we would do a GoFundMe, but just send it to the Cash App so we can get Jeremy free. Um, their intent actually was to grab me, but they grabbed him by mistake, and he's paying for the things I've said. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's help free Jeremy. Um, but in the meantime, the show must go on. Uh, First of all, overseen by my man Roy Tiger Brown. Still love your brother. Rest in peace. Coming up in a couple of weeks, we'll be taking our first football trip. We're doing an annual football trip, and this will be the first one without him. Getting some shirts made. Already got a personal shirt made that I'm aware, and we're just going to try to make the best of it. It's going to be emotional, but we're still going to try to have fun because that's what he wants us to do. And with Jeremy not being here, I know he wanted the show to go on, so here we are. So, we usually sit before the show and try to figure out, well, what we're going to start with first, what we're going to lead into. And it's usually about sports. And I'm going to keep that theme, but something that I've been really passionate about for the last few days, and it's really drawn some emotion out of me. And you're probably going to laugh, but I'm real serious when I say this. Allow me to be serious. Allow me to be serious. Uh, the Olympic breakdancing competition. I had real high hopes for it, and I think you know they do the gymnastic, the rhythm dancing, or whatever they do, and I'm thinking, well, they can have breakdancing in there. And I know breakdancing is still an art. It's been an art since the late '70s, early '80s. And I'm like, I still see kids that can do it. And I was really hyped about it. And I remember I was out whatever night that was. I believe it was a Friday or Saturday. It was either a Friday or Saturday. And I come home and I had a few cocktails. And I just so happened to turn on the TV and the breakdancing competition was on. It was the females. And Friday to be exact, because the males was on Friday, on Saturday. And I saw the most appalling thing. So you know where I'm going with this. The Australian competitor, Rachel Gunn, they call her B-Girl RayGun is her name, doing the most horrendous performance ever. I'm like, this ain't right. Maybe I'm a little tipsy, maybe I'm a little slow, maybe she's moving faster than what I'm seeing. But yes, doing the bunny rabbit, doing the hop, it was god awful. It was, to me, very disrespectful to the culture. I mean, you know, it's been an art. Go back to 1984. We had movies like Breaking and Beat Street. I mean, guys really showcasing their skills that made you want to do it. So here we are on the streets of Chicago, Austin, wherever. We're trying to emulate this stuff, and for it to be still a thing, 40 years later, you got to put some respect on it. And by the way, if I seem a little animated tonight, I got the Angels Envy. There you go. Angels Envy bourbon. Real good stuff. If you're a bourbon drinker, definitely try it. You'll like it. So let me take a sip, and I'm gonna really let you know how I feel. That was some pure bullshit to be televised everywhere in every country, and people that never seen breakdancing before was like looking at her and saying, "How could this be a fucking sport? How fucking dare you get on there and do what you did?" And in the coming days, sharing all the memes and looking at all the videos, I actually found stuff that was real informative about her. Ladies and gentlemen, I bullshit you not. You can do the research. Her name is RayGun from Australia. She is an instructor with a PhD in dance. For her to get on there and do that, that reminded me, and I'm showing my age here, when David Hasselhoff was drunk and he was trying to eat a cheeseburger off the floor. Google it. It was hilarious. I'm serious. You probably never heard that before, Brandon.
Nah.
David Hasselhoff drunk eating a cheeseburger. And that's what it reminded me of, because I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And there were some points where she showed actual skills, where she was, doing the footwork and everything. But that whole routine as a whole was a mockery. And listen to the key facts about this. She ended with a score of 0. Nobody gave her points, deservingly so, for a person that has a PhD in dance. I don't know how you get a PhD in dance. I would think at first you would know how to dance. And I actually saw a video of her actually doing some real cool stuff. And she took it upon herself to try to put a spin on it because it was going to be at the Olympics. Big fucking mistake. Uh, she went into hiding for a couple of days. Deservingly so. You're in Australia. You can't go any further down under. Yes, you can. Bury yourself in the ground. Your students are not going to respect you. They're going to drop your class and take music appreciation or art appreciation just to make up for that credit, that waste of a credit. And here's the kicker about it. And me and Jeremy, Brand, I'm sorry, free Jeremy. I was talking to Brandon before the show. I said, there's something I want to share with you that I'm not going to tell you now. I want to get your natural reaction when I share it with the viewers. She was on the board to get that certified as an Olympic sport. She had say-so on who made the cut. This is that video that I was telling you about that I saw on TikTok today. She had the say-so, and she probably blocked a whole world of talent. Probably for the females, because the guy that won the gold, he deserved it. No. That was the guy from Canada. There was the cat. I guess he got the bronze, I believe. He was from the U.S. Awesome performance. Awesome. I've watched his video over again because it was a great display. But she had to say so on who would be performing, probably for the females, and she probably tried to wean out the competition. But look what that it got her. You can multiply her points time 1,000, and she still comes up with 0, unless you're doing Terrence Howard's math. So how dare you have say so in control and make it a fucking mockery? And that really just kind of like, it really had me pissed off. And if I wasn't laughing, I was growling. I did a little bit of both, because I'm like, is she serious? Was she drunk? She grabbing the hat like, yeah, this is real. I'm just waiting for somebody to overdub her while she's doing a performance. Somebody ethnic, to give her more street cred. And say, check this out. Well, they did do it in one video, what is it? I forgot what they did, but it was the first video I ever shared on Facebook. But I was real pissed off at that. And the other thing I'm pissed off at is about, let me make sure I get her name correct.
Jordan Trials.
Yeah, Jordan Childs. the American gymnast who was awarded the bronze medal, and it was, as of right now, has been stripped away from her, and they are appealing it. Um, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about it already, but I saw that and I'm like, well, what happened? What happened? And I finally had time, in life today to really read about what happened. So during her performance, I guess the judges took away some points after the performance. After they had awarded her points, they took points away, and those points would have determined whether she would have been the bronze winner or not. And by taking those points away, technically she's not the bronze winner. Gymnast from Romania is, in their eyes, the bronze medal winner. And I would dispute this because I just found out today that one of the judges have to sign some type of document saying that they have no allegiance or ties, or no biased opinions, with the countries being represented in that event. And come to find out, one of the judges kind of has some unofficial ties with Romania. So they shouldn't really have a bearing on taking away her medal, because here they are looking out. It seems again a conflict of interest that they should have acknowledged, and they didn't, and now it's come to light. So I hope she gets to keep her bronze medal officially. But technically, if I was her, I wouldn't return it at all. They just have to make another one and put an asterisk on it. It's just those two things. And the third thing, and this is personal. I think these two are more real, but this one is personal. I was watching the women's basketball medal ceremony, and of course, United States won. And for some reason, and don't judge me. You don't think I hate her, but I really couldn't buy into the fact that Brittany Griner was crying during the medal ceremony. I just couldn't buy it. You know, um, there were some people, just standing there with their hands over their heart, some people singing, but here she is crying and weeping. And to me, I think it's all a show. She's really trying to ride out that, I'm the victim. When you smoked half your shit, and you just got caught with an ace because you didn't go over there with just a couple of drops over there. You smoked it and you got away with it until you came home. You should have finished it and threw it away, if you ask me. But here she is, and crying and being all emotional. And I think, me personally, I think she's just hamming it up for the camera, because and I don't want to say this and be controversial, but African Americans, we really don't stand behind the red, white, and blue, because of you know we were still slaves when the Declaration of Independence was signed. So you really can't expect us to be really gung ho, yay America. But then again, at the same time, we can't say yay Africa, because all we know about Africa is it's far and it's hot. I think that was Chris Rock that said that. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, but I think they want us to forget what we endured uh, as slaves. We were. It took three of us to be considered one whole, and stuff like that. So at a game, I'll stand up and I'll take my hat off because I don't want to be confrontational with nobody. Only time I really got patriotic was 9/11. I just felt like, man, that's fucked up. I went to the store. Everybody had the little flag in their windshield. I bought the flag, and Talib Kweli even said it. Niggas didn't come patriotic to 9/11, which is almost kind of true. I mean, that Brittany Griner thing, I just couldn't buy it. So those three things in general, I just wish never happened, and I wish I could just erase it. And then I realized I do have the ability to erase it. I have in my possession something that I was told to use unless it was absolutely necessary. And so I could only use it once. So I'm going to use it. I hope I can use it for these three things. You know, the Australian breakdancer, uh, them disrespecting Jordan Childs and Brittany Griner, with the crying show. So I'm going to use something that I can only use once and I can never use again to hopefully erase that.
Oh.
So I hope by the end of this podcast, I'm going to go on and see that I'm going to do a Google search and all that stuff is going to be gone. And now that I think about it, and you guys are going to probably hate me for this, I had one chance, one wish, and I should have used it on to free Jeremy. Jeremy, I'm sorry. I hope we can get the money. Again, Elroy Johnson, Elroy Jr. 74, $ in front. That's my Cash App. We got to get Jeremy out. I should have used it to free you. Selfish of me, I wasn't thinking, but I got so worked up about RayGun. So, Jeremy, keep your guards up. I know our listeners going to come through for you, and my bad. So, Brandon, I done went off into my tangent. I don't know. I'm about what? That was like about a 20-minute tangent, but I had to say what I had to say. And
You saw I stayed quiet the whole way.
I was like, let me channel my inner Shay Shay by pouring a glass of Angel's Envy, But let me hear what you got to say. Let's start with those three. I'm going to call them controversies. And let's actually acknowledge, some of the highlights from the Olympics that do deserve, attention and gratitude and respect. But let's start with the fuck show first.
Well, I just want to say, as far as the RayGun situation, I don't take that as disrespectful as you do. But I would just say that lady should not have been in the competition at all. And the facts are she was a part of the board. She a teacher. She won in her country, tournament in her country. But that lady should not have been. I don't know who was judging in her country because they should have saw that is not talent.
And so, not to cut you off, the bunny, was it a bunny rabbit or a kangaroo? See, at first I saw thinking bunny rabbit, but I'm like, kangaroo? Is that racist? Is that, what do they call it? Country racist? I don't know, whatever that would be. But I forgot where I was going with this. I'm sorry. Let me cut you off later. I forgot where I was
going. But that's the whole thing with her. I just take that as like she didn't take it serious and she put on a show to go viral. And she went viral.
That's what, yeah. She went viral in the wrong way. Yeah, and she went into hiding after that.
Yeah.
Reason I take it personal is because 84, I was 10 years old. Yeah, I'm telling my age. But that was like, I won't say the height of breakdancing, but it was a pinnacle. You had the movies Break and Beat Street. Before that was Wild Style. So I grew up in the hip hop era. I had the fat lace Pumas, I had the tracksuits. I was B-boy. I've had so many nicknames, from 84 up till now. It's ridiculous, but it all resembled hip hop, So I talk about hip hop to these guys like hip hop is a religion to me. I mean, it's just like some of the wordplay, the graffiti, just the creativity in general, So yeah, I took it personal because it's like I seen it when people was like calling it monkey dancing. My dad used to call it monkey dancing, and just like hip hop, I was gonna be a fad. Well, no, it's still around. It's not, you don't see people doing it at the club. They ain't got enough room, but it's still going on. I've been to some rap concerts. Big Daddy Kane, if he's not using a live band, if he's using just a DJ, he has a dancer that comes out and he breaks through the whole performance. So it's still going on. So to me, it's like part of the culture and part of my upbringing, part of my childhood. And that's why I think, as a child, it's simpler time. So that's why I'm so worked up about it. We had a chance to really show the world something, and they're not going to remember nothing but RayGun.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Some of the gentlemen and women in there, they show some real skill. Some of them.
Yes.
Now, I will say the most viral moment, I guess you could say, was her doing that. But I don't take it from the whole event. It's just her though, because there was some skill involved. Now, we're in regards to the Jordan Child situation, I think that's completely effed up. I mean, judges, you judge the event in real time. In real time, you made a decision. Why are you going after the fact?
After, I mean,
Take
they had a chance to,
mm,
recant their judgment, but here we are at the medal ceremony, and she's getting word at the medal. How could you? I mean, oops, I made a mistake. Oh, we should have took that back. So you're saying if we take that 1/10 of a point away, then our Romanian friend can be the bronze medal winner? You know.
yeah.
Oh, so
That's what it
so
looked
here's my
like.
thought. I'm sorry, what I forgot. So RayGun fucked it up so much for everybody. It's like RayGun fucked up the party. Everybody got to go home. They announced that breakdancing will not be part of the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, which I thought would have took it to that another level. But her performance, I think, was a big part of them saying, you know what? I don't think we're gonna have it next, next go round. And
Well,
LA would have just been the spot for it.
well, it's 4 years from now. That could change because they do have panels that go through voting still, so that could change. But in regards to back to the Jordan Child situation, it's really I felt it was kind of a way to try to embarrass her because she did her thing. They made the decision. She was on the medal stand. It was a way to like jab her and embarrass her for another country. That's what I felt. Just reading the story, seeing about the story, watching interviews, her crying, receiving the medal, it meant a lot to her. So it was a way of embarrassing her. That's what makes it ugly uh ugly
Just
wound for the Olympics.
just an ugly moment. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, how do you wait to the medal ceremony to say, after the medal ceremony, to say, you know what, let's take that 1/10 of a point away, and
Yeah,
our Romanian comrade will be the bronze winner. It's kind of fishy to me. But what's your opinion about the Brittany Griner comment that I made? I mean, I don't know if you saw the award
I
ceremony for that.
look, I will say I'm one of the people that the Merchant of Death and Brittany Griner does not equate. I will say that.
The worst
But
WNBA trade ever. Stand on that.
I will say that. But I mean, I can't really speak on her true emotions because she did it. If she was performing, putting on an act, she put on a hell of an act because she was crying the whole bit, everything. It made it look real authentic. But I can't really say she putting on an act because what's the benefit? She ain't gonna get.
Yeah, I just felt like it was phony. I mean,
Mm,
I don't, I think she's in that situation, and I'm not saying nobody talked to her to say you owe us, but I think that was a publicity thing in the first place to go all the way out to free a basketball player, traded her for an arms dealer. I'm not trying to devalue her life, but I'm looking at what this gentleman has done and what he can go back to doing, as opposed to, we can keep him in jail, or she won't dribble a ball ever again. I'm just, again, and I say it like a joke, but again, the worst trade, it was more of a publicity thing, if you ask me, to get in good graces with the public. uh I don't think if a Republican was in office, they would have made that trade. um Probably, I'm not going to say it was a ploy to buy votes in the future, from the blacks, but I don't think, at the end of the day, uh, so one of the subjects we're going to talk about today, old me now versus young me then. I look at some of the stuff that I did that was stupid. If it wasn't stupid, it was dangerous. We did things without really thinking about our actions. And then sometimes, I could just be doing the most random thing, and I think about something I did that was so stupid or said. I still say stupid stuff to this day, so I guess that I'll never fix that. But I look at it and just like look at, what was I thinking when I did that? Again, when I travel, especially traveling internationally, I'm real conscious about what I pack. I start with a empty suitcase, and I put stuff in because I don't want something to be in there by accident. Uh, you know, just like people that's so used to carrying, and I don't buy this excuse fully. Uh, if if it's a woman going through a checkpoint at the airport with a concealed carry gun, I can see it because it's her purse and how she might forget. But what is a man carrying that he carries every day that he has a concealed carry weapon in? Uh, I'm not saying all of them are doing it on purpose. Sometimes it's a slip, but I think sometimes it's probably stupidity that you have a male has a concealed carry going through a checkpoint at an airport. What do you carry in your everyday life that you carry your gun in a bag like that? You know, we don't carry purses. You know, we do get the little satchels or whatever, but that's for normally when we're out and about. So sometimes I question the motives of people, you know, and what the fuck was you thinking? So I'm gonna start a new segment. That's gonna be not every week. I'm gonna have we're gonna have a segment called "What the fuck was you thinking?"
Hey, I think that'd be positive because a lot of people do some stupid stuff. I'm gonna just say side note. Me and my wife be watching all those videos of dumb ways to die, and
Hmm.
people be lifting 1,000-pound dumbbells, and I'm like, uh, but they they know they struggling because it's like 6 people there to help them get it up. As soon as he get it up, at least this one video we saw. This is just a side note, but the guy's lifting it up and it's like 1,000 pounds. So he's trying to bench press it. And as soon as the helpers that go to weight, it dropped. Like it dropped.
It dropped
And
on
I'm
him.
like, yeah.
Wow.
And they rush him to get it off of him and everything. I'm like, don't waste to die. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah. But so let me kind of do a little backtrack on my statement about Brittany Griner being in the situation that she was in, facing 9 years of hard labor, and they were really going to give it to her because she was American, and was miraculously, what, after 3 months she was there, you know, she got released. I think she was probably just a little thankful about where she could be at right now, as opposed to where she was, you know, when she was accepting that medal. So maybe that I can sympathize on that. But again, whatever it was they caught her with wasn't what it was when she got there. It was I'm sure it was much more there. I still stand on that. She should have just finished it off and just tossed it. But I digress on that. Um, but you know, while we're while I'm shitting on certain subjects in the Olympics, I want to give shouts out to a lot of people. One is Simone. Is that Simone Biles? That's
Biles.
that Biles.
Biles. Yeah.
Man, three Olympics straight. She had a strained calf muscle and still did her thing. Uh, I think it was the second Olympics where they took away points because she did an impossible move. I still question that. You remember that? It was like some
Mhm.
move that very few have ever been able to, and she pulled it off. And they penalized her for that. That's bullshit. But here she still stands. 3 gold medals. And from that, they were giving her husband shit because he was wearing the medal. What's wrong with that? They were really making a big deal about him wearing the medal. It's not like it's a military uniform. I don't think if you weren't in the military, you should be wearing a uniform with stars and bars and stripes and everything. It's not like that. I mean, shit, it's like almost like drinking from the Stanley Cup. It's something to do. He put it around his neck. Everybody knows he didn't win the women's gymnastics. So what was the problem in that? I didn't get that.
There was a lady, I may be wrong about this. I think she was from France, and her husband was all supportive for her, screaming from the stands, and I believe she ended up winning a medal as well, and he wore it. They didn't say anything about that, and like that's why I think it'd be a little bit of that bias type situation going on because here you have
Right.
a strong supportive husband, whether black or white, he is black,
You
supporting
know
his
what?
wife.
He had to endure the honey, I'm training, and no, honey, we can't go out. I'm in training. I can't, we can't have a cocktail. I'm in training. Or no sex tonight. I'm in training. So I should just wear the medal. I don't think there's no harm in it.
Yeah.
That's, but um, sometimes, and I'm not turning this into a black and white thing, but it is what it is. we can do something and it gets scrutinized, but then somebody else of another origin does it. It's like, oh, ain't that adorable or something like that. It's funny how we really get judged, by our actions. And sometimes, I see stuff out in public. I'm like, man, he's not black. He's a nigga. That's a big difference. He doesn't represent black people, doing certain things, but they get worked up. I mean, we are flashy, but they look at it and they want to do the same thing. Cornrows in their hair, walk with a limp. How they try to, if they try to talk black, you can definitely tell they're trying to talk black.
Hey,
Handshakes, dance moves.
what I always say, we are highly imitated. We never duplicate. We always there's. I mean, I say this, and I love the culture as a whole, our culture, what we are and what we do, how we build, how we grow as people.
Our
I love it.
creativity.
Our creativity, everything. But when it comes to other cultures and everything, I love that too. It all flows together. Like we all got to interact and everything in unity. And I think, and we talked about this on other podcasts with politics and everything, how people, it's so much division going on.
It is.
Like we all have our own unique design, and it's okay.
So
And nobody like understands that in today's society, it's always us versus them. And I
so
feel like, hold on, I don't want to cut you off, but I just feel like I feel like uh and we talked about this before, voting for Kamala Harris or Trump, whoever you vote for, that's fine. But I feel like if you got one person trying to divide the country and one person trying to bring the country together, whether black, white, Asian, whatever, it's clear line. That's what you should support. But people support the division. It's like what can you just do for me? That's all I care about. It ain't what you can do for us as a people, so we all can thrive. It's what you can do for me, and that's all people think about. And that's the stuff I sit back and I watch, and I be like, yeah, the mentality of people.
If you go out there and earn it, you will respect it more. But if it's just given to you, you're not going to take care of it or respect it as much as when you go out there to earn it. And I say that. So I want to kind of backtrack about being duplicated. I've heard from different sources, and I'm starting to believe it's true because it's not just coming from people's mouths, but I read it somewhere that back in the slavery days, in certain areas, the slaves were eating crab legs. That that the owners thought it was just garbage or whatever, and so they allowed them to eat it until they found out how delectable it was, and they took it away from them. But even if that's not true, we took, oh, this is what's left of the pig, and they made good meals out of it. We were able to make the best of what we had, and to this day, people still eat booty noodles, aka chitlins, and hog maws and whatever part of the pig. But I heard
It's funny you bring that up. I got a question in response to that. Who do you think black people prayed to before they were slaves?
I don't know. I know that we were forced to worship Christ and accept Christianity, so on and so forth. And I think
Multiple.
it was a way to give us false hope, to keep going and give us false hope. Oh, the Lord's coming to save me, and whatever. But I think that was like more psychological to get them through and to oppress us at the same time. As long as you pray to the white Jesus, you'll be all right. We're going to convert you. But yeah, I wasn't there, so I really can't speak on.
What I had in my intriguing mind was wondering about that. Who did we pray to before our ancestors came to this country? And a lot of multiple sources, multiple books out there. It's one called spirituality. What is it? Spiritually Spiritually of Africa, I think it's called. I have to look it up to remember. But it talks about how we were more spiritual and not religious. There's two different views of it. Spiritual person knows he was given divine ability to create from the creator, what they call the creator, what we now call God.
Mhm.
But they call the creator in ancient times. Or our ancestors' time, I'm sorry. Uh they call the creator. And that's what they would say. When difficult moments pop up, we now pray. That's what people do in today's time. We ask God for to help us. In those times, those spiritual times, they never prayed. They would meditate because they would want to look into themselves to get the connection to the creator. So they would never pray. They would meditate to get closer to God. They would fast. Gandhi, all these people, they would fast from water, food to get closer to the creator. They
Mhm.
wouldn't pray.
You
That's
said water
that's
too?
yeah, water too. They
Yeah,
would fast.
if you don't eat and you don't drink, yeah, you might see him a whole lot sooner than you think.
But that's what they would do. And I mean, I've been like looking it up just myself. People have gone on 4-day water diets, 4-day food diets, and they've lost weight. Their muscles have, their muscles on their body have grown like miraculously. Like the health issues they were having has disappeared. Now I don't know how true this is because there's no medical support behind it, but that's what these stories are. That's what people say. Like if they were able to cure like uh, sickness. One guy had a fever and he was like, "I'm gonna go on this fast from water and all that," and then within 2 days his fever went away. Like he everything, and he didn't eat or nothing. He felt like all the toxins from what he was consuming just went out of
Mhm.
his body.
Right.
But I don't know how. Like I say, I just
So
read
I've
this
heard
stuff.
that too. I mean, just like with beef and probably chicken and you know pigs, you know, one thing they'll throw the pig eat his own feces. They'll feed it right back to him because that he'll eat it and that's fattening him up. Uh, Cattle, you know, they giving them steroids to grow fast. So everything that they put in that cow, we're digesting. So we're inheriting all that stress and everything. So I could see abstaining from processed foods and meat, especially cattle. Uh, you're getting rid of a lot of stuff. I probably mentioned this to you guys, you know, 101, but there was a time I went on I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go a week without eating meat. Week went by, and I'm like, okay, that wasn't too hard. And I said, well, screw it, I'm gonna go for 2 weeks. So I ended up going total 3 weeks, no red meat. And I'm like, I ain't got nothing else to prove. I just wanted to see if I can do it. And I treated myself to a nice steak. And like I say, it was, I ain't gonna say crack, but it just 3 weeks of no meat. I guess I got rid of all the bad stuff. But having that steak after 3 weeks, I just felt the weight being not weight physically, but like the stress or anxiety or my body was different after eating that red meat again as opposed to fasting from it. So I can see that, a clearer mind, a clear mind, a clear body, a clear mind, or vice versa. So I could see how a fast, not totally not eating anything, but getting rid of all the harmful stuff that we put in our bodies today. Food isn't like it was 15, 20 years ago. It's right now we're trying to keep up with demand. So now they're doing things to trying to keep up with demand. They're putting, beef stretcher or whatever they call it, that pink stuff in meat, to stretch out the use of meat. Uh, like I said, they're putting chemicals in the cows to grow faster and grow bigger, and we're consuming that. So food isn't like it was definitely when I was growing up. It was different. We had
That's
a
why
garden.
I always wondered because you and me, we both travel around the world. Jeremy himself, he's traveled around the world, and we taste these different food, American food, is entirely different from overseas food. And you can eat a cheeseburger from McDonald's overseas and
When I
eat a
had one,
cheeseburger over here, you will feel entirely different.
when I
One
went to
gonna make you feel
Australia, for some reason I was compelled to have McDonald's. I really wanted to have McDonald's. I kept telling Nestor, I said, I got to check out a McDonald's. So I went to a McDonald's and I ordered a large Big Mac. So first of all, here comes my food, and then here comes the drink, and the drink was like I ordered a large, and the drink was like a small or medium here. I mean, no, a large here and a large there. The size difference is it's like a small. I was like, excuse me, I ordered a large, and she was like, that is a large. So Australia doesn't promote obesity. The meat tasted different. Um, I really don't want to say it tasted better because that was just my one time eating it. Maybe I looked up and got a good burger. I don't know, but I don't think they go through the same means as America does. I mean, because America's promotes obesity and fat people. I don't think McDonald's is as busy there as it is here. You know, I go to work in the morning and I come home and I always see the fast food lines are always the drive-throughs all way long because we're too tired and we don't want to cook. So we're gonna stop and get, a couple of value meals for the family, and that's gonna be the meal. Um, I didn't feel rushed over there. I was kind of like just in the moment there. When I got back here, I was back to my regular routine of, hurry, hurry, hurry. Uh, we live in a fast-paced world here in the States, and it was just totally different there. Brazil, I was staying at a real nice hotel. They had a nice little buffet for lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the breakfast, like they had all kind of juices. So I got some pineapple juice. Like, man, I love pineapple juice. I sat down, I tasted it. I'm like, this ain't pineapple juice. It's not as it ain't sweet enough. No, it's not sweet to American standards, but it's probably real pineapple juice from a real pineapple that obviously hasn't been, doctored. So again, America promotes obesity. Um, Even in the medical industry, they won't give you a cure. They'll give you something to kind of not make it as severe, but they want you to stay on medication because it's a moneymaker. It's a cash cow. Excuse the pun. To keep people to not cure people. I am type 2 diabetic. I've been told that I can get rid of it. I really change my eating habits and get restricted. I had people tell me that they used to be type 2 diabetic. They changed their habits. Um, I'm still a slave to not to the extreme, but sugar is like I gotta have the sweet, but it's not as bad. But I can do it if I really put my mind to it by changing my diet, not by the medicine that they're giving me. Um, my doctor was actually also Jeremy's doctor. I introduced him. He's going to be coming on in a few months, and he promotes a plant-based lifestyle. And I was looking at his reviews on Yelp or something, and people like, "Yeah, he's always talking about switch to a plant diet." I'm like, "What's wrong with that? He's trying to help you, you know." And he's really trying to save your life. The meat it just ain't no good no more. Everybody praises tilapia. Tilapia is a farmed animal, a farmed fish. It's not wild caught. It's not wild. I would be curious as to if we put them out in the wild and they hatch the eggs, would they be able to survive? Because why is it just is it wild caught? Why are they in these man-made tanks and they can't go out in the regular ocean and and grow and thrive? So I'm curious about that. But yeah, if we change our diet, yeah,
I got
it
I
would
got a
clear our mind.
question. I got a question for you. Now I don't know if you remember, there was a gentleman, I think this was maybe 9, 10 years ago. He had bought like the major pill or ingredients for the major pill to fight cancer or something, I believe. And they ended up suing him because he had upticked the price like 1,000% or whatever to make a profit.
I know that was the insulin. I know they did that for insulin. They upped the price on
Yeah,
insulin
but
because of that. Yeah.
I have to look up the what's the gentleman's name. But I got to thinking about human like natural behavior, I guess, in today's world. People generally just care for themselves. But you have the ingredient, the main ingredient for something that helps people fight a cancer.
And you want to up the
And,
price.
and your natural instinct was let me make a profit because I
Mm-hmm.
own it. And that's what I but in my mind, I think that's what these major companies do. We've been in a lot of pharmaceutical companies. I'm not gonna say no names, but that's what they do. They own these ingredients and they can charge whatever price they want. They corner the market
So
and they make as much
I
money.
guess we can mention one because they're about to make a change in a few years. Eli Lilly is going to drop the price on insulin. They're going to lower their prices.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
see?
not to veer off because it seems like we're going into a different subject. There's so much about the Olympics that
Mhm.
needs to be acknowledged. I don't know if we had recorded prior to this the game with where the U.S. came back from down from halftime and to win by maybe 5 or 6 points.
Yeah, against Serbia, I want to say.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I mean that was amazing. Steph Curry, GOAT status. They're not giving him his props like they should. He
Who's it?
came
Who's
through in
your
the
real
clutch.
MVP?
I would probably say Tatum. Not he was whining again about not getting playing time. Uh, even after the first game. Uh, I would say between KD and Curry.
I would say Curry. Now I know they gave it to LeBron, and I don't know if you saw this. Uh, Stephen, what's his name? Stephen Marbury. I think that's how you
Hmm.
say his name. Or Marbury. He didn't like that. He felt like they were just giving it to him because he's the quote unquote today's greatest player, and that's what he felt like. He didn't deserve that. It should have been Curry, which I do agree. It would should have been Curry, but I'm not going. And I'm not a LeBron fan, by the way. But I ain't gonna, shit on the
So
man's glory.
when
But
they announced that he'd be carrying the American flag during the open ceremony, I was kind of going back and forth, agreeing, disagreeing with that. I thought of a few other names that were probably more deserving or could use the spotlight, so to say, in doing it. Simone Biles was one of them, but I don't know if it was too heavy for her to carry. I don't know. I mean, okay, so yeah, LeBron is in his what third or fourth Olympics, but Simone Biles is too, and I would think she overcame a lot of odds. Where that's a team effort, she was out there not even though she was on the team, it was based on her solo performances that got them the gold medal, and I think more deserved.
yeah, I would agree. I think it should be Simone Biles carrying that because she was to me she was the superstar of the Olympics. It was her.
Even before
No,
that, even before based on her last two appearances, she was a superstar. So we couldn't judge her on this Olympics because it hadn't happened yet. But I think she should have probably been one. Um,
I would have liked to see Gabby Thompson uh, carrying it as well. I didn't, and we'll get into this a later topic, but some of the things going on with Noah Lyles, I didn't like at all, and this is the big controversy because to me, the man was bragging, was so arrogant to say, "Hey, I come around that corner, that turn, they know what's gonna happen. They know what's gonna happen." And you came around that turn and you got smoked, and now all of a sudden you had corona or COVID, as he called it.
right.
Yeah, that's that's crazy. Now you making up excuses. Like if you're an athlete, accept the loss.
Accept the
That's
loss
it.
and be humble about it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only a few people that can be cocky about it. Usain Bolt, yeah, he can talk shit because he deservedly can back it up. But until you have a proven record, you better be fucking humble.
But even when like if Usain Bolt lost in the World Games, he was never gonna make up an excuse. He lost. He'll shake hands. He'll even smile, do an interview still. Him, Noah Lyles is entirely different. Like that, his reaction was, I had coach. I had coach.
Did you see the video of LeBron James showing off that one kid asking for a picture?
Yeah, I saw that.
Classless. It wasn't a
I
crowd. He could have did it.
I I I see your point though, but I mean, if you're a man with his family, okay, let me get my space. I understand that. It's been an exhausting thing. I get it. But if I'm an athlete in that moment, it's one kid, he want a video, whatever.
Especially, you just won the gold medal, and it
Mhm.
wasn't like it was a crowd. The way he
It was
shoot him off was kind of like cold.
it wasn't like either the kid was like being super aggressive, pulling on him or nothing.
He wasn't.
He just had his phone out and he walked towards. Now he was well within his own rights to say no. That's his power. I can always say no. But I mean, it's a kid. It's a kid at the end of the day. He's not attacking you. It's like, and then
And it's, and
what
it's
even
not
made it
like if
worse.
he'd have took that picture like a whole crowd was coming. He had enough space to take that one picture or whatever and enter the venue that he was going to. Soon he gets to the door, he starts doing his little shuffle and everything and dancing like he was an asshole literally 5 seconds ago, and he just changed his whole mood. And that was caught on camera. Uh, we're not going to be able to not forget it. Uh, Add that as another strike to things you shouldn't have done. The first and foremost thing that I say that you should call a regrettable moment is doing that ESPN show and then announcing that you're going to Miami. You knew what you were doing. It was a big show. It was probably just a big advertisement, product placement. Yeah, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. The way he did that, uh, that's where he lost a lot of people, and he probably got the name LeBum from it. How he was scrutinized for everything. That one action right there. I'm sure if he could go back and change things, if he had this little and again, Jeremy, I'm sorry, I should have thought wisely about this, but if LeBron had one of these to take back one action, I'm sure it would be his announcement of going to Miami.
I think I think this though, in regards to the kid though, I think that is a moment that shows you're supposed to be above all the, natural. Now I get it. Everybody look at him as like a role model, but Jordan, the unkept secrets, Jordan was an asshole. The unkept secret, no offense to Kobe, I love Kobe. That's the guy, but they say he was an asshole. LeBron supposed to be the face of that. Like he's supposed to be the genuine guy.
I've never
Like,
known Kobe to be an asshole, just an alleged rapist.
well, I ain't gonna say all that, but respect to Kobe. But they say
Look,
he
how
was
how
an
do, how,
asshole.
how, do, how do you change your image from an alleged rapist? Change your number from 24 to 8.
Nah, you win championships. That's how you do that. But that's just like the kid, and I'll bring this to sports. I'm gonna tie it all back. But the kid for the Chiefs, Rice, the receiver, the man was in the car. They were maybe drunk or not. I don't know. But they hit another person, caused a car accident, and you fled the scene. NFL is suspected to not or expected to not suspend him. No,
Really?
no fines. Yeah, this was a news report. They're expected to not suspend him
I've heard
and
in the
not.
last 3 years people being suspended indefinitely for something of the same nature.
That's what I mean. But they just came off a championship, so I don't know.
And
Maybe
what team
another
did he play
championship.
for?
The Chiefs.
So
Kansas City
speaking of the
Chiefs.
Chiefs, I don't know if you heard about this. There was a teacher. She recently got fired for stealing $1.5 million in chicken wings from the school. One of the receivers, Eric something, offered to pay that in hopes that she would get her job back.
Chris Jones, the D tackle.
Okay.
1.5 million.
Yeah.
He was gonna pay.
I say if he agrees to pay for it, cool, but she still should receive some type of punishment.
But chicken, 9 years, it don't equate. It don't equate. Unless she was selling the chicken and created like
I mean,
illegal
$1.5 million
game.
in chicken. I'm sure she was selling it or giving it away like a dumbass.
Well, hey,
But I
I
think no, I think they shouldn't put her in jail if he's willing to pay. But she should have some type of restitution for committing the act.
yeah, I can agree with that, but I think a lot of times, like we just talked about an athlete getting away with a crime, fleeing the scene of accident, which he basically is about to get away with that. But in regular day people lives, you got a lady stealing chicken and she about to be 9 years in jail. I think
She
it's
gonna
a
be
little,
somebody's bitch because of poultry.
yeah,
They
that's
gonna
what I mean.
call her little chicken wing too.
Like, what is
Come here, Papa.
justice? Like, what is justice and what's moral? It's like, I don't think people know the two. What comes of it? Because the law,
Well,
the
I
law
guess
is,
$1.5 million is considered a felony. So
but it ain't fleeing the scene of the accident. Ain't that considered a felony too?
they paying off somebody for that,
I mean, come
or
on.
they're looking at the money that he can bring in, and or something. But at the end of the day, you should be accountable for your actions. I don't care who
That's
you know, who you affiliated with, who you are on the court. You should be responsible for your. You should be responsible for your actions. You're not above the law.
and that's the thing. I'm trying to understand because I get athletes make a lot of money. No, Ben Roethlisberger, he's one that people have talked about for years.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go in the bars and tell them, "Hey, go get that girl over there. Go get that girl over there. Bring them all in." He's had rape allegations, all that. Never
Yes,
once, never once did the NFL say anything.
he didn't miss a game.
Never one. Didn't miss a game. Didn't
No
miss an endorsement
investigation.
deal.
Nope.
Didn't miss an endorsement deal. But they can kick a man out for kneeling during the national anthem. They can kick a man out for Ray Rice. Ray Rice can punching his woman out, which is wrong too.
Oh,
But
dead ass.
yeah, punching his woman out and he gone. But you see the difference between the quarterback who won multiple championships, whether white or black. I say he white, which in this case, and they are players, your everyday NFL players. And the NFL sticking by who they stick by. And they
Shit.
protected him for all them
Michael Vick
years.
was a decorated quarterback, but he went down for that dogfight and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. And it don't make sense to me a lot of times with these
Patrick
athletes. They get away.
Patrick Kane, when he was with the Blackhawks, he was accused of, as well as his brother, of doing some things, and nothing really came of it. He was
Mhm.
young. It's a good chance it probably happened. Just being young and out of control, and feeling yourself or whatever. But nothing came of it. I'm not saying nothing. You decide what I'm trying to hint at. But yeah,
That's
so you got the U.S. men's. They won the gold medals. I think there's not going to be not much of a rest period for them. So
no.
I'm going to be watching the fatigue factor. You probably won't see much of them in the preseason games, of course, and I just want to see how they're going to perform during the regular season. You need that
Do
rest
you
period.
do you think Tatum can bounce back? They said that man been missing shots since the playoffs started. He ain't hit a jumper yet.
Only time will tell. We'll see.
I
We shall
think
see.
I think one of his recent comments too that the Boston Celtics would beat the USA basketball team.
Ooh,
Yeah,
those are
which
some serious words right there. Put your money where your mouth is.
Mhm.
Back that shit up. Let's do it for charity.
I as a fan of basketball, I just want them all to be healthy. I want Kawhi to be healthy. I want Giannis to be healthy. I want Embiid to be healthy,
I
and they
wanted to
all go at.
have a fair season because it seemed like last year, the talent team wise was so tight that I want to see what you can do the following year, and I don't want fatigue to be a factor in it. You know, I want to see what the Mavericks can do. I want to see what New York can do. There's a lot of teams I'm going to have my eye on this season. I probably won't watch every game, of course, but I'll be keeping my eye on them. Watching highlights and stuff. I want to see. I want to see competition. I don't want to see the person's in first place and he leading by 15 games. That's no fun. You know, I want it really to come down to the last 2 weeks of the season to determine who's really going to be in it. Of course, you're going to have your last place team, but I want it to come down to like a 5-way race to number one. That's what I want to see. Have people on the edge of their seats.
Hey, I wanted to. We didn't talk about sports a lot, but I wanted to lighten it up, and I'm gonna throw out some traits in relationships, and I wanted to see if you could tell me is that a green flag or red flag?
Okay.
What you think? All right. First one I got is she has a male best friend.
I won't say it's a red flag because I got a female friend, and when I say that wholeheartedly, I've never tried to put the moves on her or anything, and we've been solid for honestly about 20 years. And I can't say that there isn't any could be any sexual tension between us, but we're friends. That's all we are, friends, and there's never been like an uncomfortable moment between us. So if I can do it, and I'm not saying I'm a bad person, but if a male can do it, have a female friend, then a female can have a male friend too.
The woman makes more money than you.
So my answer is I can see where it's going now. It's not going to be a red or a green flag. It's going to be, if a woman makes more money than you, don't let that ruin you. Don't let that make you feel bad. Don't let that demasculate you, where you feel like, okay, she got me on the money thing, but I'm gonna break that back, and I'm gonna make a, don't try to compensate for that. And at the same time, she shouldn't treat her guy less than that. And again, if you throw something at me, I seen it on there. Your guy makes 50,000 a year, and you make 100,000. Rent is this. I don't know how that plays out. How it's paid. That's for y'all to figure out. But as a man, don't let that ruin your ego and feel like you're less than a man. You know, shit.
Well,
If I could, I'd be a house husband. I love that shit, baby. She come home. She come home to a glass of wine, dinner cooked, and I'd be like, I find time to, provided there's no kids involved, spend half my day on Xbox or doing something, not just sitting around the house, but I'll do my part, dinner, here's a glass of wine, and baby, how's your day? Rub her feet, stuff like that. Play your role. Don't let the ego, don't let that ego. And I think, and this has happened to a lot of males, they let their ego get in the way of certain situations. Like men won't date a woman taller than them. I mean, what's wrong with that? That's not all psychological, superficial shit. So again, I really can't say red or green. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this game.
nah, you can answer
Nah,
red or green or
her
why.
phone going off and saying her friend, that's her friend calling her at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh no, that shit got to stop. Oh hell no, red fucking flag. what do he have to tell you at 2 o'clock? Now he can't wait until you at 10. You know, yeah.
Y'all do not share location.
I don't see the need to do that. I mean, if it's for a safety point, like, hey, you going out, you know, maybe it's a mutual thing. It's always on shared location. You ain't got nothing to hide. But if you do it on a regular and all of a sudden periodically it gets turned off, that's a red flag. Why are you going out your way? That's just like changing your ringtone. You don't do that shit unnecessarily. You set your phone to the way it is and you leave it. But if you every now and then you're unsharing your location, that's a red flag.
That threw me off. But yeah, if she do that, then yeah, might want to get your boxing gloves ready.
No, you put one of them GPS trackers on her car. That's what you do. If you really want to know. If you really want to know, but but don't don't be surprised if you see something you don't want to see. When you go looking for something, unfortunately, you find something half the time. So be prepared for the worst. I had a friend going through some issues, and he was like, I want to show up at a work and see what's going on." I'm like, "All right, cool." He said, "But I want to use your car because I want her to know mine." I was like, "Okay, cool," and I'm down for that. But I said, "Look, I'm down with you, flow flat tires." I said, "But are you prepared to see what you might see?" And then a couple of days later, like, you know what? Let's not do it. No, he couldn't bear to fathom. I'm sure things ran through his head, and he was like, you know what? I'd rather not find out that way, but I guess I'll eventually find out. So yeah, be careful what you ask for or what you go looking for. Just might find it.
He always lets his mother ride in the front seat with y'all in the car.
I think no, see, that's a thing. That's a red flag. I think, well, if she's your wife should be up front, and your mom should be in the back. Because when you take on a wife, you're taking on a whole different household. And not say you need to treat your mother less, but that's kind of the woman that you put in first. I mean, you still love mom, you'll be there for mom, but when you take vows, you're putting that man first, and you're putting that woman first. That's the family branching off, and that becomes like the top tier in my book. So yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with mom sitting in the back.
He always buys you gifts before he tells you, and he doesn't tell you he loves you. He just buys you gifts.
Again, you're not going to get the solid answers. Maybe that's just his way of saying I love you. Remember, we had Stacy on. You have your love languages, and
Mhm.
maybe it could be just buying gifts, and you know, and that stems for a whole lot of things that you can't say certain things, but you'll show it to in place of saying it. So that's not really a red flag. Him
Every
him
time,
him coming home smelling like some perfume that you don't use. That's a red flag.
every time he gets a text message, he turns his phone over.
So I do that too. I turn I always when I'm with I have company, female company. I turn my phone over unless I'm expecting a call. Uh, I might put it on favorites, and my favorites are family and friends, so it will ring for them. But here I am, and 9 times out of 10 they know I'm an entertainment company, so everybody else doesn't know, and I don't need to be distracted by them. But that's just me, and I'm not on bullshit. I turn my phone over, and one thing I did that is because I had my work phone, which was an iPhone, sitting out there, and I was watching Chicago Fire, and I was like, it was like, want to see more Chicago Fire? Hey Siri, show me when Chicago Fire is coming on. My phone said, starts responding, so I just turned it over, and it doesn't hear it, it doesn't register, it doesn't respond. So that's just a habitual thing I do with no ulterior motive, no devious motives behind it.
He is best friends with two of your exes.
That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. That's all I got to say right now. Is that's fucking weird. I mean, because really, it's gonna happen. Gonna be having some cocktails, having a good time. Man, such and such showed it had some nice pussy, man. Man, she did this thing to me where she did such and such and such and such. And it just so happens she won't do that to you. No, that's fucking weird. You can, I mean, let's say you're having a family gathering. I don't know what the circumstances would be for them to be invited unless they're a baby daddy or whatever, and they just come to pick up the kids. But that's fucking weird. Who does that? Where do they do that at?
Hey, there's some weird dynamics out there, fellas.
I mean, it's possible of happening. Maybe say you got a good friend, and you used to date this girl back in the day. You know, time you're married now, and somehow they connected. I mean, I really wouldn't make that, you know, a thing and be around you because again, you're gonna be like, loose lips, Lisa, you know, some shit like that. That's just a weird thing. And you know, I'm not saying it's wrong for that to happen where you end up dating down the road. I mean, shit happens. But yeah, that's weird being best friends and you know, especially man, me and Lisa arguing. This is what you need to do to get back into the good graces, you know, or whatever the fuck. Or if you're on some devious shit, you go over there like, hey, I heard you and dude having some issues. Man, what's up? You know, that's just fucking weird. It just opens up the possibilities for a lot of weird shit. So where the fuck do they do that at?
All right. She leaves your text unread for at least a week at a time.
I mean, again, you're not going to get a straight answer from me because there's so many. I'm so gray with this. I mean, did she call and respond? Is it something, you know, a text is usually something that you would usually respond to. Hey, I made it home. Even that deserves a response. Glad to know you made it home safe. So I don't know, I got fired today, or man, I'm so pissed off. That deserves a response. So
Let's just say you just texting her asking how she doing, and she leaves it on read.
I mean, something's wrong if it goes unresponded for a whole week, and I don't talk to her for a whole week to find out later that she's okay. But again, open up the possibilities. Maybe she was busy at that moment. Now, hey, I need you to call me as soon as possible, and it takes up 3 hours to call back. What were you doing for 3 hours? My phone was on silent. Why the fuck is your phone on silent? Did you go see a movie? You know, and then there's the age of smartwatches, which majority of us has. So yeah, you can put it on silent, but you'll still get that vibration alert. So yeah, that's raising a red flag. What the fuck were you so busy for 3 hours doing? Watching a Marvel movie? You know?
She introduces her best friends as her brothers.
There's a
Hey,
song
you gotta
called
say what the fella said.
there's a song called "Ladies and Thoughts," and that's like one of the. Google that. It's called "Ladies and Thoughts."
I got it there.
Ladies do this, thoughts do that. It's a real good one. You gotta listen to it. But that should be like, you know. Yeah, let me get some of that backstory. Y'all grew up together, okay? I can see that being brothers, but if y'all only known each other for like 5, 6 years, why the fuck is he your brother? You know, sometimes when girls say that, sometimes girls get themselves away. Like, let's say you're in a crowd, you and three of your homies. She can walk up and say, hey y'all, hey big head. She smashed you if you big head. Yeah. Something went on. So I mean, calling them brothers is like sometimes one of those things was like You only known them for 5 years. Brothers, really? And it might be a small smidgen, a small red cunt hair case that they are cool like that and they consider their brothers and sisters. But nowadays, majority of the time, that means some shit done went down in the past or is currently in progress.
Hey, I see it got Cardi B in this song. Oh Lord.
Thoughts and ladies? No, it should be one without him. Just her, just the guy. Ladies and
Ladies and
thoughts. Who's the
ladies and thoughts,
artist?
right?
Who's the artist?
Cash Flow Harlem. Wrong song.
I don't remember Cardi B being in this version of the song.
Ladies and thoughts, right? That's the name of the song, right?
Um, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. I don't want to hold it up and ruin it, ruin the show for that. But yeah, I want you to listen to that song. Well, you know what? The audience doesn't know that I'm looking up on YouTube right now. But yeah, come hit me with one of the red flag situations.
All right. This is a pretty easy one. I would say it's a definite red flag. But y'all together, y'all been together 3 years, and she has a secret bank account that no one knows about. But
So not to cut you off, there is a version without Cardi B called Ladies and Thoughts. If you go to YouTube, it'll probably be the third one down. It's just a picture of him and it says Ladies versus Thoughts. That's the version I heard. I never heard the one with Cardi B. But knowing Cardi B, I got to listen to that. I got to check that out and see what that's all about.
Hey, did you hear my red flag?
No, I didn't hear it.
Y'all been together for 3 years.
Mhm.
And you find out she has a secret bank account that she has not disclosed to you.
Honestly, you better have one too. Because if they know it exists, and I call it secret, if they know it exists, when it comes, well, won't you get that money out that account? And at Bank of America, men are, and I'm not saying all women are, but sometimes our instinct. There's other alternatives than to going to hit that stash. I call it the stash. Uh, some ladies, not all ladies, want the quick, easy way out. Hey, won't you get that account you said you had since you was 10 years old that you saved for emergencies? Yeah, they my emergencies. Shit. So it's not deceptive. Not telling them about an account you have. It's actually you probably doing them a favor. But if every time there's a bond, you just shrugging your shoulders like I don't know what we're gonna do, then yeah. But to have a stash, my father told me always have a stash because we can suffer knowing that we got that stash did. We could be down to our last $10 and we gotta wait 5 more days to payday. We'll make that $10 work. Or we're liable to borrow 20, but we won't hit that stash because once you borrow from the stash, it's hard to put back sometimes. It's easy to put in as a contribution, but when you take a loan or borrow from it, it's hard to put it back. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But don't be like, if I'm in a bond and you don't say shit, like she be like, damn, I don't know what you're gonna do, baby. I hope you can work it out. And you sitting on something, yeah, that's fucked up. But I welcome a couple to both have an account that the other one is not affiliated to. And that's just what this fella thinks. That's just my opinion. Joint account definitely, for bills, but I think everything else. I don't think everything should be joint. The way we shop nowadays, using debit cards. See, back when my parents were growing up, there was no debit cards. There was credit cards, but now the debit card is constantly pulling money out your checking account. Times are different. You can't have your whole pay going there. And she like, damn, you know, her $1,500 check and your $3,500 check. Oh, we got money in there. I can buy this new bag. No, you can't. So I encourage separate accounts for her and for him both.
That's what the fellas think. I agree with you, fella.
Man,
I
and
can't
you know
disagree
what?
with you.
The people that listen to this, I want you guys to chime in. Hit us on our DM and say, "Hey, I heard what you said about this and the red flags." I want to hear what you think, especially the ladies. Am I wrong for thinking the way I think? I don't think I'm being selfish. I am a selfish person to a small extent, but I don't think what I said is selfish. I think it's real. Again, I shouldn't have to wait 3 hours to get a response. You might as well don't respond at all. Unless you can tell me how Thanos got all the Infinity Rings because of that 3 hour gap. I don't want to hear why it took you 3 hours to respond back. Look, ain't nothing but Marvel movies and Lord of the Ring movies 3 hours long. So you better come with some, yeah, this was a Endgame. Okay, I wouldn't want to be bothered during Endgame neither. I watch it every time it come on Fox. I watch it every time like it's brand new to me, especially like the last 45 hour minutes. Sometimes I watch the whole thing over again. Yeah, don't interrupt me during a Marvel movie. Hey, can you go to the movies by yourself and not tell your wife or tell her you're going anyway to see a movie?
I'm gonna answer that. Hell no. Hell
No
no.
movies at all. You can't go see a Marvel
Not
movie
by
on your own.
myself.
Hmm.
Not by myself. See, so I have a problem with that. But
I
you
get
know,
it, but see, I like when I
that's
was working
just
nights.
that's just explain a little bit of my situation. Just because we have kids and we always watch movies together, that's like a little bit of us time. So if
Mhm.
we do it separately, it's like you take away from us time. So it get looked at as that way.
So can you get away with going to see the movie by yourself, but then going to see it with them again because you really want to enjoy it? I gotta go to the bathroom. Can
I ain't pulled that one yet. I don't know.
Okay.
I ain't pulled
So
that one.
when I used to work nights, I used to go to the matinees all the time. I used to love that. Nobody's there. I had my favorite section of where I would sit, dead center, dead middle, in the seats, and I would enjoy it. When I started working days, I could go see the matinees. Like I'll come in early and I'll leave at 4:30, or sometimes 3:30 if it warranted, because I always stayed late just to see those movies on a Thursday or whatever day, and to avoid the crowds. That's what I like, avoiding the crowds. Uh, I really loathe going to the movies on the weekend at night. I know that's basically the time we can't do it, but I'd rather do a matinee. Um, I go see movies on Thursday nights when they come out because the actual release date is Friday, but I will go see it Thursday because they do have Thursday shows. Uh, I don't know if we covered this, but I had saw Deadpool and Wolverine. Have you seen it yet?
No,
Okay. Honestly, it depends on how you felt about the first two. I would say wait till it comes out on streaming app.
I didn't like the first one, didn't like the second one, and I'm not going to see the third one. I
Okay.
just think I just
Well,
think
it ties
my
into the Marvel universe now, so that's why I would say if you would want to see it or not.
I saw some of the little excerpts they had on social media,
Hmm.
and that'll tie into another topic of ours. But I just don't like because I'm a true like Blade fan, true Wolverine fan. I'm a true Marvel fan. I just don't like how they do it.
All right.
Especially
Again,
Candy.
I just want to say right quick, we're trying to free Jeremy. This is the cash app that send the money to. $ Elroy Jr. 74. We really want to save Jeremy. Jeremy has a family, and we're trying to do everything to save Jeremy. And sorry for interrupting, but I just really want to get the point across. I just want to see Jeremy well.
Hey, we gonna stop playing with y'all. Jeremy is in jail, and that's we needs bond money. That's,
All right, I was trying to save face. I was trying to save face. And if you subscribe to What the Fellas Think Uncensored, we'll tell you what he's in for. And so
it was
Jeremy,
a
in Jeremy, these times, we used to pour out liquor back in the days, but this shit is expensive, so I take a sip for you, all right? Shut up. Shout out to Jeremy. I'm sure somebody has a burner in the county jail. You can see this. Give them a carton of cigarettes. You get an hour and a half time of us shouting you out and upping you and keeping the show going. We love you, bro.
We'll put some on your books.
Right. Well, maybe we should put it towards that. Yeah, we'll put it on the books, but we want the fans to contribute to his bond, his bail money.
That ties into another one of our topics. Do you think social media influences everything in the world now?
I won't say everything in the world, but people are real persuasive. Let's take somebody within my age group that's on Facebook. You know, if you ask them why they're on Facebook, probably the number one answer is to keep in touch with people that, from your past. When I joined Facebook, it was 2010, and I sat there, and first I went through, I was looking up people from grammar school, and, I still stay in touch with people from high school, but it was a few that I didn't. So it's to stay in touch, but I see a lot of people living their Facebook lives, and I'm going to use Facebook as an example, where you're trying to show off, you know, and show everybody, ooh, good for you. You went to the Wisconsin Dells. Whoopie fucking do, Uh, oh, look at my plate. You're at home. It's some grits and toast and bacon. We can all make that. You know what? Impress me. I need you to be at a Japanese restaurant and show me your plate. But everybody be like, living that Facebook life. So yeah, it's an influencer. You want to get noticed. People act like they're more happier on Facebook than what they really are. They try to put an image out. Um, People, they got to be seen doing everything. Here I am at Walmart. I'm at the most ghetto Walmart on 95th Street. Yeah, they pissing me off. Then why are you there? You know, it is like a loaded gun. And I used to be one of those that I liked everything. Like. Now I only like stuff that I really want people to acknowledge, see that I acknowledge that they like. But hey, everybody, have a blessed day. It's just it's old and tired. Especially when you say blessed day and you far from a church goer or a believer. It's just you say it to get responses. You say it to get likes. Uh, when people put their personal problems out on Facebook. I was kind of guilty of that. I don't say I put like problems or issues out there, but I look at stuff that, the memories, that the stuff I shared. I'm like, the fuck was I thinking? But everybody puts their life out there. Remember, this one guy was having issues with his wife, accused her of cheating, calling her all kind of names, kicked her out. This was a couple of years ago. About a month later, here they are at a restaurant all hugged up. It's too late. You didn't put it out to the world that she's a bitch, that she's a skeezer bitch. I'm sorry. Now you can't take it back. You can't take it back. I don't care how much y'all worked it out. We didn't need to know that y'all worked it out, but in my eyes, I know what she did. I know what you did last summer, you know? But it's too late. You can't take it back. You can delete it, but I saw it and I remember it. And there's other people that saw it and remember it. But you put it out there for the world to see. So now you go to these functions. First you go to these functions like, yeah, man, fuck her, man. She ain't shit. And 2 weeks later, oh, y'all back together. That's what's up. Black love. I love that. I love to see y'all together. Y'all, I know y'all was gonna work it out. Just shit like that. So social media does influence people. I mean, younger kids have died because of social media posts. Um, more blatantly, FBG Duck the rapper posted up where he was at shopping. They came down there downtown Chicago and they killed him. Uh, yeah, people, there used to be a phrase, do it for the Instagram. You're not doing it for yourself. I'm more conscious about what I post. Uh, and to be totally honest with people, my Facebook page is now, I was, I don't care who you was. Oh, I met you one time. Okay, sure, you're a friend now. I don't have time to go back through and delete people. So I'm just careful what I post on Facebook. You want the golden key is you get on my Instagram page. there's a queue of about 10 people that requested to follow me that's just sitting there. I won't decline it because they can always ask for it again. They're just sitting there in limbo. And they don't need to know everything that I share with the public. Oh, by the way, did you see my pictures that I posted at the Big Daddy Kane concert?
Yeah, I saw your videos too.
Yes, he dapped me. He came out. He came out. He was working the crowd. He dapped me and shit. So I was like, yeah. I ain't gonna go into that. I ain't washing my hands shit, but I'm a big, huge hip hop fan. I knew almost every song. I knew every song, but I didn't know them all. I knew like 80% of the songs, and I'm like, just a real good hip hop moment. He had a band that was mostly white, and I noticed that from the get go. And I'm like, you know, I want to see what they want to do because some of his songs are funky. And when it came to the occasion, the guitarist, the bass player, the trumpet player, the saxophonist, they and the guys on the keys, they got funky. So there's this part in the show where he introduces them and they do their little thing, they get their little moment. And when I said it came their time to shine, they just like you think it was gonna be some simple shit, but they'll take you like to a bass line from like doom 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 doom. That's an Eric B. and Rakim song. And there's this white guy's doing it on a saxophone. I'm like, he is getting funky. And it's like, I noticed because we say white people don't have rhythm. If you play a musical instrument, you got to have rhythm musically. But they was up there, they kept on to the beat. They probably did a move they shouldn't have did. But overall, when I saw the band, I had questions. But at the end of the show, I was convinced he picked a well organized band that knew shit. There was a part in the show where this guy was shouting, and I'm on the fence whether he was a plant or it was real. It could be either or. He was just shouting stuff. He said, "Man, and if you do Young, Gifted, and Black, man," and Big Daddy King like, "Well, that's not part of the set, but let me see what I can do." And he turned to the saxophone, this white guy. He's like, "You've heard it before. You know how it goes." And so the drummer started, kicking a little bass line. Big Daddy Kane goes into his thing. It's a saxophonist. He just comes in. And then he dapped him, and the dap seemed genuine. Like, I didn't think you was going to know it, but you did. And for that, I give you your props. So I had a great time at that show. I'm an old man. I went to the 5 o'clock show. There was a 5 o'clock
Hey,
show and 8 o'clock show.
hey, I wasn't gonna interrupt you, but you dated yourself talking about they was funky.
Funky and shaking that thing. and shaking that thing, whatever old school phrase I done used. Yeah, they was funky. They kept it. I was just like, yeah. So it was a good time. It was a good vibe. And so it was him. The show wasn't no more than an hour 20 minutes. It wasn't even an hour and 30 minutes, but it's just him doing his thing. So you think about a full concert, you wouldn't get that much from him. So I paid $85 total with the tax. It was well worth it, especially to get a dap from him. And I guess I'll never wash his hand ever again. I'm just joking. But I'm a hip hop fiend. I've met a lot of hip hop stars over the years, and I've become real good friends with some of them. And it's not as a groupie thing. It's just like one guy's a promoter, and I got in to see the shows through him. I would be backstage, or he was like, "Look, I'll let you in free if you could do me a favor. Can you pick him up from the airport?" So I was lucky enough to pick up Chubb Rock from the airport. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna remember that time you said that in this line. What did it mean? I was trying to be like, just real casual with him, and I had a great conversation with him. And I forgot that at one time he was studying to be a doctor. I totally forgot about that, but he gave it up to be a rapper. And me and AMG were tight. Uh, I got a story that I can't tell on camera about him, but we tight. And I was coming off of a breakup with you know who, because I talked about it a lot. And yeah, it was an adventure. It's an again. Subscribe to What the Fellas Think Uncensored, and you'll hear the story. If you pay for it, I will let you hear it. But yeah, I'm a real hip hop fan. I've met a lot. Both of those guys are in my phone right now. I could call them up right now and shoot the shit with them. Uh, I'm gonna get AMG on to the show right now. He's working on new material, and he's telling me, not right now. He's focused on that. Maybe October, November, around that time, we can get him on the show. But I had a time again. The band was funky, man. They were the bee's knees.
Hey, I wanted to touch on what you said about social media influence. People, and I don't know if you've
How did
seen
I get
this.
all the way on to that? I don't know. I just veer off like an MCU
Nah.
timeline. I just branch
That's
off. Go
that's the
ahead.
point. That's the point of our podcast. It's an ever flowing conversation. We go all the ways. But to touch on what you said though about social media influence and everything, there are literally influencers out there creating fake scenarios, them getting
Yes,
jumped, them having incidents in Walmart, Target, all this stuff just to create views, this attraction,
and
this
they
fake
will get they
world.
will get followers at the expense of getting their ass whooped. There's this one guy. He does it where he points to the camera like this, and he'll go behind a girl. I sure as hell to tap that ass. And then he'll
Mhm.
say it again. And, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking on the phone. And at first it was amusing to me, but it's like, it's not real anymore because why would you be saying certain things on the phone like that when it's obviously you are talking to her? It's just, and then she'll turn around like, "Oh, I thought you was talking to me because you could get it." It's just like I stopped.
Yeah,
That's Reddit TV. I stopped watching. I
yeah.
stopped. I
That's
stopped
it's
watching.
the fake reality that
Yeah,
social media is like created. And that's why I think like people, even styles now, right? Nobody's authentic anymore. You see a person with Yeezys on social media, everybody wants it now. You see a person with a certain hoodie on, flip flops, everybody's copying it now. Everybody's doing this, doing that. It's like there's a scene in the movie, and I ain't gonna Coach Carter, but it's just like there's a scene in the movie where he's like, we all are meant to like shine. That's what we supposed to do. And people have lost their. I think with social media, they've lost the individuality. Like that's
I agree with
like
that.
the, they have lost that part of it, and that's when I sit back and I sit back and I just laugh sometimes
It's
because I
just
be
purely
like,
entertainment right now because
yeah,
now I'll look at it to see if it's bullshit or not.
yeah, that's what I be looking like, man. You know, you're not like that. Why you trying to be like that?
And not
Like,
all so-called influencers, because that's the word they use. You know, some people get so much of a huge following. People are like, hey, could you wear this jacket? Could you wear these pants? And just do your thing. So they've created a lane for themselves. And I say this, not without social media. Everybody, and life is a highway. That's actually a song. Life is a highway. Life is a highway, and there's one lane designed just for you and you only. You can look to your left and look to your right, but you really need to be looking ahead because long as they're not trying to get in your lane and disrupt your traffic, all you need to do is focus ahead and just do you. Stop trying to be like everybody else. I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot since we've been doing the podcast. That this was your idea, and I don't think I ever told you guys, but at first, even though I agreed to it, I was kind of reluctant. It wasn't like let's do it and see if we fail. It's just like they seem so strongly about it. I'm gonna give it a shot. If I feel like I want to step away from it, I said, don't let me knock it until I try it. And now it's just like I just think about the podcast, and it's almost like you said. We call it therapy sometimes. That we sit here and that we're honest with ourselves. That's why it's called what the fellas think, and that we have this audience. And by the way, with our shorts, you know, we're getting real lots of viewers. We cut down the podcast to like segments, not to veer off, Brandon. We got segments, and some of our segments are getting huge views because I guess it kind of weeds it out and it grabs you what you want to hear. But I've also been hearing a lot of people say it's because of the shorts. I've started going back and just listening to them all. I don't have to visually look at it until I hear you say some goofy ass shit and they talk about me. Like, can I be serious for the moment? And all I hear is all of a sudden they're laughing, so I got to see it. But for the most part, you can just if you allowed to wear headphones at work, you can wear headphones and just transmit it through the headphones and listen to it. There might be that occasion where if you hear "Let me be serious for a moment" and a little chuckles, I'm doing something big. I got a lot of props that I've bought I have yet to use, but I'm gonna definitely use them. I think they're appropriate at some point, and that's how I feel about the podcast in general. Is I want to create not so much a character for me, but it's a layer of me. I like to have fun. I'm a joke. I'm a joker. I'm a joke. I'm a joker, and as serious as I try to be, there's always that part of me that jokes a lot that really shines out. And when I hear it from different crowds, it's like, okay, I guess that's who I am. I'm a joker. Nobody, if something serious comes up and I got something to say and I probably got the solution, it's hard to get their ear sometimes because I joke so much. But I'm glad I can bring that layer or that personality to the podcast. And I like seeing the reaction from you and Jeremy. And I get people that say, uh, I had people say just from my Facebook page, inbox me one day. She's like, I look for your. This is when I was like in full mode. Every morning I wake up and I say something silly. She says, and she never commented and she never liked my post, so I never knew she was seeing them. One day she just felt compelled to say, I wake up in the morning just to see what you have to say on Facebook, but sometimes it'd be so funny. And you never know what you're saying can do for a person. So you could be saying something bad and it can bring a person down, or you can say something enlightening or something funny and make people forget about their problems for a minute or make them want to overcome their problems. So never underestimate the power that you have. And I've come to realize who I am. And in my professional position, I have to be serious. I have to make decisions on the spot. I have people to manage. And I keep telling myself I can't joke. I can't show them that side because shit be so serious. I mean, I'm not dry. I'm not a robot. I laugh, I chuckle, but I really can't show them the side that I be showing on this podcast, because then they would start to take me less serious with things. But yeah, social media is, and you can be an influencer intentionally and unintentionally. You know, when there used to be a thing of taking pictures of, your bed, a mattress on the floor with money and a gun on it. It's like, oh, think you can get a bed now with all that money, or is that your re-up money? What? And some people have gotten in trouble because they did something illegal, like when the PPE thing was happening during COVID. They was taking pictures of, here's my new house, here's my new whip, here's my new whatever, or here's the stacks of ones that I got. I'm going to the strip club. That has been used as evidence against them for having a fake business and getting that PPE money. So yeah, be careful what you post on Facebook. It might come back to bite you in the ass. And in the world of my page is, you just can't go on my page to see what's going on. You have to be a friend. But nowadays, potential employers are going on your social media to see who you really are. Uh, some of them require that you have a LinkedIn page. What's your LinkedIn URL? So social media is a gun. Social media is an automobile. Uh, to have it is not a right; it's a privilege, and use it responsibly.
I
And
would
that's
say,
one to grow on.
I would say this is probably gonna be our last topic here, but we always talk about the old me versus the new me, and the old me from when it came to like social media, even high school, be like, oh man, now I need them likes, I need them to like me, I need them to accept me, I need the friends, I need to, be cool with everybody. New me is like, well, you don't want to be cool with me, then I'm cool. It's cool. I ain't got to cross that street and say what up to you. I ain't got to cross that street and understand what's going on in your life.
And we
I'm
ain't
cool
gotta
with
be
that.
beefing. We ain't gotta be
Yeah,
beefing.
we
If I
ain't
were
got
to
to be
cross the
beefing
street
nothing.
and give you a nod, that should be good enough. And people know me. I don't phony kick it.
Mm.
If you and if you're in my circle, and I don't have control of all my circles, is sometimes it's just some good guys and they just bring in somebody that's I don't just gel with. I won't phony kick it just because you're in a circle. I'm gonna let you know you're on the outs. I'm not gonna be mean to you, but if I'm talking about something I don't want you to know about, and I'm talking about it in my circle, and you walk up, I will stop. Don't take it personal. And I won't switch the subject to like, yeah, and that's how trees grow. No, I just stop. I'm like, hey, what's up? And here come whatchamacallit. That they know that's my cue. He doesn't need to know about what's going on. I don't phony kick it. And I used to think that way too. Let me play nice with everybody, but everybody ain't meant to be played nice with. Sometimes you got to really show the real grimy, dirty side to motherfuckers because they're gonna try to test you, and you gotta let them know I'm not the one to be messed with. So
I don't, I don't even take it that far. I just like you say, nod the head and talk. I don't need to give you that. You don't mess with me. I'm cool though. I'm cool. I'm not wishing bad on you or nothing. I'm cool. I'm gonna just stay in my lane. I'm not gonna give
well,
you a fake
that's more or
acknowledgement.
less that's what more or less coming in my atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they're in the overall circle of the group, then and if I'm having a conversation and I don't fuck with you, and you walk up, I will stop. Take it personal if you want, but at the end of the day, people have told me people should know where they stand with you, and that's something respectful. Because some people will play their role like you're cool and really hate the fuck out of you, hoping they
Yeah.
can get something, some type of information out of you, just to fuck with you just because. But me, I don't play those games. I
That's
don't.
that's why like I feel like the old me would be like, yeah, let me try to like even when it came to me liking a certain girl or whatever, I would go above and beyond, try to get her attention and all that.
We all
It's
guilty of
like,
that.
yeah, yeah. But new me, it ain't that way for me. I give what attention is needed to my wife, my kids, all that. Like
Hmm.
that's what my focus is. I don't give attention to the BS. And I feel like that's why I like, man, I be paying attention. There'll be a lot of BS out here. People living fake lies, fake tough, fake gangsters, fake smart people, fake fake uh activists or whatever you want to
Fake
call
friends, fake
it.
friends.
Yeah.
They just want to see what they can get out of you. What are you useful for?
Fake fake
Again, I
trolls.
don't phony kick it, and I guess, and it's not. I don't say it's a bad thing, but it's a quality that makes me stick out. Is I speak my mind. You remember at our old job when we were having issues about how our group was being treated. I'm like, this is what we do. We first of all we got to stand together as one. We write these down, and no, you don't take it to our manager. You don't go to the slave master saying, look, I don't like how I'm being treated. I said, we're going to go to HR about this. And when we went to HR, it's like, did you share these things with your manager? I said, it's been shared in the past, but how can you take your complaints to the people you're complaining about and expect results? And I knew they knew it was me that kind of, I said, spearheaded that or kind of led that on. But I'm like, it, I rather, I hate for us to sit around and complain in a circle and then us not and then deal with it than not try to do something. And I said, how do you take your complaints to the people you're complaining about? And
Yeah.
these same issues we had have been mentioned before and they fell on deaf ears. But we took it straight to HR, and I knew they knew it was me that had something to do with it, and I didn't care about that. And you remember the outcome of that.
It was Death Row Records.
But at the end of the day, it's like you got to speak up because if you don't say nothing, if you don't do it right, you're just gonna be miserable. You're gonna be driving into work, and you had a long ass drive. You're gonna drive into work like, damn, I'm going into this place, and I wasn't doing it to be an anarchist, but I'm like, we put our hearts into this. The least you can do is do us right. I mean, they was robbing us on well, it's not overtime, but the stipends.
Mhm.
You couldn't get a stipend unless you did 8 hours. Bullshit. And not all the time it was 8 hours. It was, and what? I got it changed to 4 hours. So we at least gave 4 hours as opposed to 8 hours. I mean, it was just stuff that they knew they were wrong about. They knew they were wrong. So I'm not one. I always spoke my mind, and I don't want to compare myself to Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. But I said, I remember one of my old supervisors says, "Don't always be the one that steps forward and complain, because all they're going to do is see you as the complainer." and you're gonna take away from the real problem, and they're gonna look at the complainer as a problem. But I just look at it like I'm careful what I say, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna allow myself to be used.
One thing I took from that experience though is don't allow people to put you in a stagnant position. And that's the one thing I took from that. Because anything in life, if you're trying to grow and evolve, and this is a everybody should apply this to everything in their life. If you're trying to grow and evolve, and then one people want to stick you in this box, and you stay in that box, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not staying in that box. I want to grow and
To,
I want to
to,
evolve. I want to learn. I want to be more. You're not going to put me in that box. So I'm going to
and
go
and
where
to
I can
to
get
kind of
there.
piggyback on that situation that we experienced, I found out that a former employer was still in touch with a certain individual. You know who? Jim.
Oh,
Jim Sales. They would talk to him periodically, and he made the comment, "Yeah, I can't believe they're still working here because of the treatment that we made." So that just fueled the fire even more. That to a certain extent, they knew they were wrong, and I'm like, "Oh no, this ain't gonna go on." And I'm sure after that there was a target painted on my back, like waiting for me to do the smallest thing. And what ended up happening, well, first I got promoted technically. I was promoted, but I was also terminated too, and that was pure bullshit too. That was a well orchestrated scenario, which I could have never seen coming myself, but it was played out real well. So it's like, be careful what you do, because they'll never forget, and they're going to find that opportunity to get back at you. But because of that, they put me in a better position, and look where I'm at now. I'm just doing great. But yeah, I don't phony kick it. I let you know how I feel.
hey, that's why I hear what the fellas think these three individuals get along very well. So
So some people call me an asshole, and I'll accept that term, because it seems like a person that really speaks their mind and doesn't bite their tongue is who they call an asshole. And in that case, I'm proud to be an asshole.
we know you by another name, but we ain't gonna say on the air. But
Or an asshole. Or an asshole. But you will
but
find out if you subscribe to what the fellas think uncensored. Proceeds go to bail money for Jeremy. Free Jeremy Hiller. Bro, don't drop the soap.
I think tonight has been another great episode of what the fellas think. We've had a
Honestly, when we found out that he wouldn't be on the show, first I was still committed to doing the show, and I know Brandon was too. But I thought it was going to be a much shorter show. We actually ended up starting earlier, and we're pretty much ending around the time we normally do. So, you know what? Maybe we don't need Jeremy. You know what? Let me say that was a joke. That was purely a joke. Honestly, if one decided to walk away permanently, I would walk away as well, because we started this together and we're gonna end it together. And seriously, this is no salt and pepper situation where we get rid of the DJ and keep it for ourselves. It's going to be all of us or none of us. Real talk.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I hope our audience out there enjoyed tonight's episode. Got some laughs, got some motivating moments, some inspiring words in their ears. Hopefully our audience you snap your fingers and make that one wish. But I hope everybody enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Definitely follow us on Instagram at What the Fellas Think. Email us at info@whatthefellas think. Reach out to us. We love to.
Wait. So I want to start by saying Thanos said, "I am inevitable." Tony Stark said, "And I am Iron Man." Ladies and gentlemen, I am Roy Nasty.
Oh, he said his nickname out here. Uh,
Oh
well,
man, had a
I hope our
ball.
audience, enjoyed our banter, our topics, our jokes, and our words of
Viewpoints.
advice. Yeah, our
And
viewpoints.
again, I'm probably getting you know, scowls and everything when I talk about Brittany Griner. Again, I think she's been made out to be a martyr. Like, what are we supposed to respect her for? She didn't sit at the front of the bus. Uh, she got lucky and was made a PR statue or token or whatever. But that's just how I feel. That's what I think. And your opinion might differ from mine. But if you look past my delivery and the things that I said, you might find some truth in it. Again, she didn't go over there with just an eighth of liquid THC.
Hey,
I'm
to
sure there was more.
all the audience out there, send your hate mail to Roy. Don't send it over
No,
here.
you know what? If I say something that offends you, right now it go on our Instagram page. What the fellas think, and you can message us. Even though you're not followers or anything, we do get the messages, and I will be honest and I will respond to comments. If you want to be kept anonymous, I will keep you anonymous. I will respect you like that. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm somebody that speaks my mind, and there's probably a few people that said, you know what he said about her kind of makes sense. I'm not attacking her. I'm not attacking her because she's a woman. I'm not attacking her because she chooses an alternate lifestyle. I'm calling it like it is, the worst trade in the WNBA. It was a public publicity stunt. Uh, we traded. We gave away apples for dead seeds, so to say. There's nothing of real value, in my opinion. Not saying that she doesn't do anything, but we let the merchant of death go. But again, if you differ, just to share the opinion, we will read it, and I will probably rebut, and I'm sure the guys that have something to say, they'll probably agree with you. But again, it's called what the fellas think, and this is what I think. So at least respect me for being honest.
Respect us all for being honest. Now, I will say this has been another great episode again. So please
Awesome.
like, comment, and subscribe. We enjoy. If you reach out to us, whatever topics you guys want to discuss, whatever comments you may have, we love it. So please do that.
We're gonna set up an email pretty soon, uh, and he could set it up and be posted when we post it to YouTube, because we really want to hear from you. I want people that know me to write letters and say, you know what? Yeah, this is Elroy, and or yeah, I known him. He's been like that all his life, unfortunately. I want people I want character witnesses to write a letter and let them know that they're getting the 100% unfiltered me. And again, I don't say anything to offend, but I speak my mind. The world has become pussified that we can't touch on certain subjects. I think that's bullshit. Every subject should be able to be open for discussion and talked to intelligently about. And I hope that, people know that they can come to me and tell me their displeasure or their support of me.
Always.